Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to Wheel Takes, a podcast about being distracted
Okay,
from
hi.
things. I'm Gus. I have read every Wheel of Time book.
And I'm Allie, and I'm on book 12? 12?
Yes?
12. Chapter 15.
15.
Fuck yeah, I've been getting these right lately. It's something about doing one chapter a week, or not a week, because we're trying to do it bi-weekly, which has had middling success so far, but it will have more success post-haste.
Yes. This
Probably.
podcast only contains spoilers for things that Allie's already read, and today that's everything up to and including The Gathering Storm, Chapter 15,
Whee!
which is called... You'd think I would remember, but I don't.
We only have 2 books
It's
left.
depressing.
After this.
A place to begin. Yeah. Because last week it was a box opens. We were so fucking loopy and weird last week. I didn't even ask you where we left off. I didn't do it once.
Are you asking me that for this time?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now?
I can ask it now.
Sorry,
Shall I ask it now?
Okay, we left off at Rand.
Rand. Not actually.
No?
Old women.
Oh, Cadsuane.
Cadsuane.
And her scary box
and
of
her scary
scaries.
box of shitty stuff that everybody hates. The bad thing. The bad box.
Her
Sad, bad.
her little box of like
Little box of horrors.
little box of horrors. Bop shoo bop. Little shop of horrors. No. Okay, before we get started on additional stuff, we don't want to talk about it
We're not going to talk about it much.
because all we've been doing is talking about it. Here's what I will say.
In case you are listening to
case
this
you're worried about
later,
it.
the United States election was this week. We're going to talk about it for a very brief moment, and then we're going to go back to the Wheel of Time.
Because you know what? It's
You don't
weird if
wanna
we
hear
don't talk about it.
Just skip
because we
a
talked
minute.
about it last week.
Just skip a minute.
Here's what I'm going to say. This fucking sucks. Here's what they can't take away from you. Your love, your joy, and your kindness. Some of the most radical things you can be are loving, joyful, and kindful.
I'll take
And
kindful.
kind right now. Find ways to be those things because that will give you the energy to keep fighting. That's
Yes.
all I want to say. I love you all. We're going to get through this.
You know what's bringing me to veer back now because why not?
And if you don't live here,
Shout
will
out.
you marry us?
You know what? Speaking of things that bring joy, I got a duck.
Yeah, Gus got a duck.
discovered Tubbs ducks because
This podcast is sponsored.
It's not.
Sponsored by Tub Ducks.
I've been playing a lot of Yakuza. I may have mentioned that.
podcast is brought to you by Yakuza.
It's not, but my mental health sure as fuck is. I've been playing a lot of Yakuza lately, and they made Yakuza ducks. And this one, I have.
You know what
this one.
before this month didn't know about, think about, would ever think that it would be in my home is
Ducks.
a Yakuza duck.
A Yakuza duck. This is the Kiryu Kazuma duck. He's got a bike because in the games, a lot of the time you just hit people with bikes.
Well, what else are you going to do with them? Ride them?
You can also hit people with like big traffic cones.
That I feel like wouldn't hurt.
Big ones, really fucking big.
How big?
Like 5 foot tall cone. It's absurd.
Where have we ever seen a 5 foot tall cone?
Japan, apparently. I don't know. But I have this
Japan,
Kiryu
what's
duck.
going on?
And I love my Kiryu duck. And my sanity is hanging by a thread thanks to the Kiryu duck. Apparently, if you get the first edition of these, because of course there's first edition, it comes in a little vinyl
There's a
tub.
This
is the box
We're going to be
version.
having first edition ducks in my home.
No,
before I
they're
know.
too expensive for that. Maybe a couple. There's a Carrie one.
No, hold on.
She's got a little bloody dress.
Cute.
Yeah, it's
Love
great.
it.
There's a Doomslayer one for some reason.
Eee.
Come on now.
I just got
This
one of
is the
those
most
shivers. Someone just walked on my grave.
Absurd thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's
and
a
I love
scary
it.
phrase. Someone just
It
walked
is.
on your grave.
I've always wondered about
like,
that.
does that
one.
mean I'm already dead?
Or is it like somebody walked over where you will be buried?
Either way, it's scary. Also, I'm not going to be buried. Let's be
Well,
real.
yes, right.
It skeezes me out. Okay.
Buried, engaged,
I'm going to be launched into space.
Romeo is banished. Here we are.
We are all over the place. Okay, let's talk about the books.
Here we are to talk about the Wheel of Time. Frankly, banger chap,
Yes.
if I'm being honest. It'll come back to you in a moment. You read it yesterday.
I know. Like, yes, it was a banger. I remember that being true.
Chap.
I remember this has been a banger book so far. Honestly,
Yes.
this might be one of my favorites.
Yes.
If not my favorite.
Yes, it's top 3 for me.
Yeah. This is kind of wild.
Up there, my other top 2 are
I think book 5 was my other.
Shadow Rising and, controversially, The Path of Daggers. I am a frequent Path of Daggers defender.
Of course you are.
First-time caller.
I like Fires of Heaven.
Fires of Heaven is also a banger.
Fires of Heaven,
do
my
kind of feel like it's the
favorite.
second half of Shadow Rising. It's like Shadow Rising DLC.
Yeah, but it pops up.
Shadow Rising New Game Plus.
Is there the first
Shadow
fucking
Rising
happens
Kiwami.
in Fires of Heaven?
The what?
The first fucking?
Oh, Igloo Sex?
Yeah.
Igloo Sex is in Fires of Heaven, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
We love Igloo Sex. That's an all-timer moment.
That's an all-time.
Episode 100
Wheel
of
Takes
this
moment.
podcast. It is so funny to
What's
me. That was episode
200.
Hang on. I have them numbered in here on the computer. Episode 200. It's on the other computer, isn't it? Or did I put it on the backup? Phooey. Well, I guess we can extrapolate.
We'll find out.
This must have been during Moldgate because it's not on this computer. But I think it was.
Moldgate.
I think it was MRC, not MRC, MLC, Moraine Letter Chap. Right? Let me see.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Because 199. Yeah. Knife of Dreams 10.
Man,
Knife
the
of Dreams
timing
10
of our like 100 and 200
was pristine.
impeccable.
Well, the 100 I actually engineered that. I kept delaying and doing one chapter episodes and stuff so that it could be episode 100.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so sneaky.
It
of
was
you.
very fun.
It's very podcast producer.
I enjoyed
of you.
it.
Okay.
Allie,
talk about the chapters.
We've talked about where we left off. There's enough going on in this chapter that I don't feel the need to blather on about nonsense.
I'll also tell you, I do not have notes.
What?
No.
But it was a banger.
It was a banger.
How am I
do not have
supposed to
notes.
do?
I'll make the cracks as they come.
And you know what else is weird? Encyclopedia Wheel of Time
We'll
is
do it
down.
live.
And usually I browse on Encyclopedia Wheel of Time so I can make sure I'm not Oh, it's back up.
Oh, thank God.
This is the best 5 minutes I've had in a minute. Place to be. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, considering.
Yes. Here's the thing. Chapter 15, A Place to Begin. There's the logo. What is it?
It's a dragon in a box.
We're here with Rand al'Thor. How's he?
I mean, usually
always
bad.
yes. That's always the answer is
and he's
always
like,
bad.
I gotta stay tough for you, men.
There's that. We're gonna talk about that.
And then she's like, no,
Don't.
And I'm like, every man needs to read this chapter.
I agree wholeheartedly. I loved this part. I was
Please
reading that
share
part and I
your
was
feelings. Oh my God.
like, there you go, man. You get him. But before we get there, we got other shit. We got Rand doing some other shit because this is actually a triple POVer. This is oh baby a triple. It starts with Rand. Then who's it shift to? You were just talking about her. Min, and then who's it shift to?
Oh shit. I don't remember.
Aviendha.
Right.
Did you catch the sneaky implication that Min and Rand were fucking?
I did catch
Caught
that.
this. They didn't freak you with the okie doke.
I did
People
catch
have
that.
started sending me things that look and sound like freak me like the okie doke. Somebody sent a picture of a restaurant called OK Poke, and they were like, I need some fish. I gotta freak my stomach with the okie poke.
Wait, I love that that's happening to you.
You gotta freak him with the okie doke.
That's so cute.
Someday, that one streamer I mentioned who uses that phrase will learn about this pod. He won't. And I would be Grand Pooh Bear, if you're listening, you're not.
But what if he is?
He's not.
We don't know.
He's not.
We don't know.
He's not.
He's
been a sub
listening.
for 36 months. Okay, so chapter 15.
I'm just saying, weird shit happens all the time.
That's true. Well, last time we shouted out Demi Moore. I think it is more likely that this streamer is listening. Never mind. Rand woke on the floor of a hallway. Where is it?
Is it the substance? Let's
Yeah.
talk about the substance
Yeah.
again.
Is that what's going on? That's the second man. that
Oh,
Min
it's
is
the
seeing?
substance.
Is the
It's
substance?
the substance.
Is
Well, they are sharing the same brain,
Rand's
I think.
back is going to split open, and who's going to crawl out? Luce
Moradin.
Theron? Moradin's going to crawl out of... Okay.
Well, maybe that's how Rand comes back to life.
Is he substances himself?
He substances himself through Morden's back.
Oh, I'd watch it.
I watched
That's fucking weird. I watched the movie. It was fucked up.
I think it's this loophole of like Rand's able to take over Morden's mind because why is he hot?
Well, they talked kind of about the fact that they can sense each other.
Yes,
right?
In this chapter. They're now aware of each other.
They brought it up.
It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I thought that was cool though. Wasn't that fun? It was like a lot
once, once Voldemort became aware that he was in Harry's brain, #Trans Lives Matter, the shit really popped off.
I feel like you got a few of these.
He started figuring out how to manipulate that shit.
You got a few of these this week with that kind of confirmation that's
and that's the Balebuddies.
It's Moradin in his head and all that shit.
And that the Balefire stream caused it.
Do they say that?
Yes, they did.
Oh.
They specifically mentioned the Balefire.
They do mention it happening and that's when it seems
and
to
they
start.
mentioned that's the Forsaken that don't come back.
Oh my God, yeah. Rand had a Perrin moment.
You're telling me.
Because he was like, I killed your ass. And he was like, well, you didn't like kill my ass.
And I'm like, the good people cannot be on the back foot. We cannot afford that.
Rand in book 12 goes,
you're telling me.
Are you telling me that the Forsaken have been reincarnating?
Which I'm going to be real. The Forsaken have been doing such a shit job of making their presence.
Frankly. Well, but isn't that the point? They don't want the presences to be known.
I guess, but it just means you've been unimpactful for...
What have the reincarnated Forsaken accomplished?
Migraines.
There were migraines.
Which, you know what? Having had them...
Pretty bad. I thought I was having one the other day. We were at a wedding this weekend. It's part of why this is a little delayed as we were out of town.
Yeah, we had to go be friends.
Yes. And I thought I was getting a migraine.
We don't just live in the podcast studio.
The morning of. We kind of do live in the podcast studio. I thought I was getting a migraine the morning of the wedding, but then I didn't. That's a great story.
I thought I was getting a migraine, but then I didn't.
What else have they... What Osengar helped teach the good guys how to heal better.
Yes.
And then he got murdered by Elsa.
By accident. That was fucking funny. By his own side. She shot on her own goal.
Well, but who engineered that? Whose fault is that? Really, if we trace it back.
Daemon?
No. Why did Elsa go, I should probably kill that guy?
Oh, is it Elida?
No.
Was it Lanfear? No.
What gave Elsa the impetus to keep the Dragon Reborn alive at all costs?
The Dark One?
No. It came to her one day as she was being held captive outside Cairhien. She realized that the Dragon Reborn had to reach the last battle. Even though, she's a Dark Friend and all.
I mean, she's right.
It suddenly became clear to her after, a few weeks or a few days of time after being held captive outside of Cairhien and, doing annoying chores, meeting with other Aes Sedai. It was so nice of that pudgy brown sister to take her in and give her some tea. The rest of that visit was a little fuzzy. I don't remember everything that happened.
Oh, it was Varen. Varen! I don't know. Your allegiance is still... I think you're good, but... Because I think she's good because I feel like people would talk more shit about her online otherwise.
People love the Forsaken, though.
This is true.
People love Leandrin. Show Leandrin, anyway. Book
people
Leandrin
don't love
is
Book Leandrin.
Less beloved.
People talk shit to me all the time about how I didn't see the most obvious flip coming. But I was like, because it was so obvious, I was like, well, this must be a trick.
You know what I've
noticed?
noticed?
She really was just that obvious.
As you get more and more things right, there are people who latch on to the handful of things that you've gotten very wrong.
Yes, it's your desperation. Your desperation to prove me wrong. To say, look how fallible and human she is. Barely fallible and human. Barely.
So
that was years ago. Give me something I've gotten wrong recently that wasn't Van Dien. And I maintain that would have been better.
So where is Rand? This is
Robert Jordan was wrong.
Anything else? You have a bracelet that says that.
I know. I love it.
You got it at Malkiri.
I got it at Malkiri. It made me so happy.
What are the other reincarnated? Moradin has run some meetings. He played chess with himself. And actually, he has kind of gotten the Forsaken whipped into shape. So that was completely off key.
That sounds like me working from home trying to justify my existence. Well, I played chess with myself.
I did a performance self-review recently. It's a similar kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I do a good job. I work really hard, actually.
Yeah.
I work really fucking hard.
When we podcast, we create this alternative reality, which isn't quite our true reality, in which we make up these anecdotes that sort of happened, but maybe didn't happen entirely.
Well, we roast ourselves more.
It's almost like we exaggerate things for comedic effect when we're speaking into microphones.
And it's not that we lie. It's just that sometimes an exaggeration of the truth is funnier.
Usually.
No, we both work our asses off all the time. I didn't stop working all day.
I know.
Today.
I was there.
From the moment I opened my eyes.
Yeah.
So I'm exhausted, which is why I'm yawning non-stop today.
Yeah, you should have said that.
Sorry.
You just made there's probably at least 400 people
yawn.
Just
this is the yawning episode.
That right there set off. If you yawned just now, let us know.
I've been yawning all episode. I want you to know.
Oh, you beefed it. Yeah, she's spinning away again.
Okay, so
what else did the Forsaken, the reincarnated? We got.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
Sindane?
Gus, I'm begging you to talk about
what did she do?
Actual chapter.
She's shown up.
I will not last
she's
past
spinning
11
away again.
p.m.
She's going. Okay. Rand woke on the floor of a hallway. He sat up, listening to the distant sound of water. The stream outside the manor house? No, that was wrong. The walls and floor here were stone, not wood. No candles or lamps hung from the stonework, and yet there was light, ambient in the air. So where's he at?
Some random hallway.
What hallway? We've seen it before.
Where Moradin lives.
Which one? We've seen this many times.
His place of residence.
Where?
1-800 Forsaken Town.
Is this a real place he's in? Where do you recognize this, don't you?
The Dream World.
Do you recognize specifically where this is?
His Dream Palace.
Which Dream Palace is that? When have we seen it before?
Ishamael's Dream Palace.
Yeah, from what book?
2.
You remember in book 1 when he kept on going into the hallway in the room with the creepy fucking fireplace? We're back there.
Oh, yeah.
We've come full circle. And he's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's like, what the fuck? This is
so
what
book
the
1.
Fuck? This isn't wrong.
And then he goes, it's vintage.
And it's a throwback.
Throwback.
And he goes, all right, okay, all right, this is bad. Let's go in. Oh, yeah, it's the weird fucking screaming rock fireplace again.
Oh, and we even revisited the rats.
Yeah, and the rats are crawling around behind.
Ratback Ishii strikes again.
A notable difference between this time and last time.
2 rat, 2 Ishii.
The rocks look like they're burning hotter
than before?
Than they did last time.
I wouldn't have remembered how hot the rocks were burning.
I don't know.
Rand has a stellar memory.
A man sat in the chair on the left.
I'd be like, this place looks familiar. And Ishamael would be like, it is the place that you came in book 1. And I'd be like, that was 11 books ago.
Tall and youthful, he had a square face and ancient blue eyes that reflected the hearth fire, turning his irises almost purple. The other chair was empty. Rand walked to it. By the way,
is it for him?
Did you what?
He's got a chair for him.
Were you going to interject and yell, "He's tall and hot" because they're gonna?
Because it has to be okay that they have to screw him later.
Calming his heart and watching the dancing flames, he'd seen this man before in visions, not unlike the ones that appeared when he thought of Matt or Perrin.
Watch as it's just Nynaeve and Aviendha and Elaine just say some magic words over funeral beer, and somehow they're just such special girls. They bring him back to life. Listen, if that happens, I'd be a little like, okay. I just like a little like, okay.
You're dead, Rand whispered.
Because I'm like that with every Jesus plotline in every book. Like every time they try to justify it, I'm always like, okay.
I killed you. I watched you die, Rand said. I stabbed you through the chest with Kalendor. That is not my name. I am known as...
Rebrand.
Moradin now. The name's irrelevant, Rand said angrily.
That's true.
You're dead, and this is a dream. And he's like, motherfucker, it's book 12. You said just a dream. Are you serious? What series are you in?
He's like, I'm a Ishamael Coke Zero edition.
So
new Coke.
Rand's like,
This time with more cocaine in it.
Rand's like, you died. And Ishii is like, you turned into a mountain. What are we doing?
Yeah, last time I saw you, you were a fucking mountain.
Yeah, like you turned into a fucking hill, dude. Like, oh my God,
right,
I stabbed you.
Kilimanjaro, like, calm down.
And, Rand gets caught up to date. Any thoughts on any of this stuff?
Mostly just vibes.
The great lord can grant you sanity, Moradin said. Your last gift of sanity brought me no comfort, Rand said, surprising himself with the words. That had been Lews Therin's memory, not his own, yet Lews Therin was gone from his mind. So what's going on there?
Lews Therin has left the building.
But Rand still has the memories.
In the dreams. Yeah, that makes no sense.
Well, I guess this kind of leads into a broader question for this chapter, and it's something I'm going to ahead of myself a little bit because Min talks about this more. Rand is of the opinion that he and Lews Therin are two different people.
In the same bad.
And that Lews Therin is fighting for control of his mind from him. Min says, I don't think that's true. I
trust
think
Min.
They're both you.
I trust men. Yeah, I trust men.
Okay. Why?
Vibes.
Okay.
Women.
Sure.
Women's intuition.
That's fair.
I just believe women. I don't know.
Well,
because she reads.
She does
When's
read.
the last time we've seen Rand reading?
He read a map in a book at some point.
She reads. She's a girl who reads. I just feel like the book talk girlies can get anything done.
Apparently, book talk is now.
I know.
Yeah, we know. Never mind. I don't even want to fucking touch on that.
Believe
shit.
me, I am aware.
Yeah. All right.
It's just a couple of them.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Any other thoughts on that? By the way.
She's like, I'm double fisting a romantasy and also this engineering book.
And for some reason, Locke's second treatise of
Both
government.
are valid reading materials.
And Leviathan by
and
Thomas
say nothing
Hobbes.
about your intelligence or value.
Anything else about are they the same person or two different people?
I think she's right. I think they are the same person, but different versions.
Much like Moradin and Ishii, except kind of not.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like they probably occupy the same space too, because they're the same person technically.
So Moradin goes,
But
why?
then there's also this extra guy hanging out in Rand's head whose name is Moradin.
Moradin. Now we know, by the
and
way,
he's
that is
hanging
Moradin.
out in Moradin's head, and Rand's gonna kick those girlies out of his head and take over this body.
Rand is a party in Rand's head.
That I feel like would actually work for me in terms of a Jesus, like because that has enough setup.
If Rand takes over Moradin's body.
Another person's body, yeah. Because there's got to be, you know what? Here's the thing with the Jesus thing. There's got to be some kind of like thing sacrificed, and if that's OG body, that's fine with me.
Sure.
But it's got to be like you can't just come back the same. You can't die and come back the same. You have to be much changed. Something has to change. And why is Moradin hot? Why is he hot? He doesn't need to be hot.
That's something Malazan also does really well.
Why kill Ishamael and bring him back hot? Why is he hot?
Maybe RJ was having a bi-panic moment.
That would be very relatable, RJ.
Yeah. So Moradin goes, why have you come here? And Rand is like, didn't you fucking...
Didn't you send for me?
Isn't this your bag? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you
What do you
talking
mean,
about?
why have I come?
He goes, I feel so tired. Is that you? Or is it me?
No.
I could throttle Semirog for what she did. It's not time for us to fight. Go.
What, he's upset that Semirog took his hand?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, why though?
Because he said not to touch him.
Is that the only reason?
Is he trying to take over Rand's body?
Well, what he said, I feel so tired. Is that you or is it me?
He's taking over Rand's body.
Is he or are they? Yeah, is he?
What if all the like crazy weirdness of Lews Therin recently is actually just Moradin
That
hanging
could
out?
be.
Ow.
You good?
Yeah. I just dropped my foot fell
Oh,
off
I'm
the
going numb again.
thing.
God, this chair sucks. Hold on, I gotta
I
stand
know.
up.
I'm really sorry.
Well, don't be sorry. I mean, I didn't realize you had to sit. You never said anything. If you'd said, I'm sorry, I would have gotten you a better chair.
Well, I just didn't want to be a bother.
You're not a bother. You've never been a bother.
I shouldn't want to be a bother.
Oh, did the computer just freeze?
Uh-oh. Oh, it's back.
It's back.
Okay.
Okay. For a second, I thought everything froze, and I was like, oh my God, no.
Okay. So, interesting. I feel like, yeah, what if, because Lews Therin has been extra spicy recently.
He has.
Like extra spicy. And maybe there's a reason. Maybe Moradin's fucking around.
So
Maybe unintentionally. But I think Rand's going to take over Moradin's body. Are they going to do a cute little swapsy?
You have to switch every 7 days.
You have to switch every 7 days. Don't borrow against your like other life.
I'm making another substance reference. I'll stop now.
Isn't that the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's a great movie.
It's also so much body horror.
Moradin goes,
really know that.
It is not time for us to fight. Go, leave me in peace. I do not know what would happen to us if we killed one another. The great Lord will have you soon enough.
Oh, so I bet when Rand's hand got cut off, he felt it.
Yeah.
He was like, ow.
Yeah.
And then he was mad. He was like, ow. What did I say? I said, don't fuck around with Rand.
And Rand is like, dude, you listen. You can
really
try.
It's really hard to delegate sometimes.
You can fuck around, but I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to kick the shit out of him. Kick him all the way back to Fucktown, USA, wherever he's from. And Moradin goes, perhaps you will. But do you think that matters? Consider it. The wheel turns time and time again. Over and over the ages turn and men fight the great Lord. But someday he will win. And when he does, the wheel will stop. That is why his victory is assured.
Why hasn't it happened yet?
I think it will be this age, but if not, then in another.
Why hasn't it happened yet?
When you are victorious, it only leads to another battle.
Infinite amount of times.
When he is victorious, all things will end. Can you not see there is no hope for you? And Rand is like, that's a logical fallacy. You're a little bitch boy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a stupid ass reason to go hard in the paint for evil.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
You're dumb as fuck, man.
That makes no sense. Like, life's gonna suck, so we should make it suck earlier. What about the thousands of years of no torment? Are we just gonna say, fuck your thousands of years? Like, that's a lot of years.
There's a lot of years.
That's a lot of good years you got in there. Like, none of it matters because one day we'll lose. So what? A silliness.
Dumb.
Does that make all the thousands of years like not important? Have you ever counted to 1,000? It takes a long time.
Was also, listen, it's like, oh man, I would eat this meal, but I'll be finished with it at some point.
So I'll just shit on it instead.
I may as well just fucking chew grass. Like, what?
What? That makes no sense.
And I guess here's the other thing is...
Listen, there are definitely people out there that think this way, though. And I'm like, that's so silly.
And to your point, Allie, if it's happened infinite times before...
Why hasn't it happened yet? Why haven't we lost?
By the way, but what is Rand's
There's always hope, baby.
What is Rand's actual rebuttal here?
Go fuck yourself in your friggin' ass.
No. He says... Well, you know what I'm gonna do?
Just bend that peanut right up there. And if that was what he wanted to do, that is his right.
Rand says,
we support him.
I'm gonna kill the elemental force of natural evil. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill the Dark One. And Ishii is like, that's a terrible idea.
Kill the Dark One?
Yeah.
Why is that a terrible idea? Has anyone tried it yet?
Is it? Ishii says, we're connected. That's how you came here, I suspect, though I don't understand our bond myself. I doubt you can understand the magnitude of
We're Balebuddies.
I doubt you can understand the magnitude of the stupidity in your statement.
Can we call them Balebuddies?
Balebuddies is good. We can call them Balebuddies. Why does he say that that's a stupid statement?
Because he's a negative Nance.
Well, are there any potential downsides to killing elemental evil? Destroying evil utterly? There's no such thing as evil?
Imbalance?
Is that a problem? I'm asking
Allegedly? I think it'd be pretty cool, but I suppose it might disrupt the natural order of things.
How?
I don't know. What comes up must come down. Like, life can't just be all cakes and cheese.
You eating cakes with cheese? I'm not talking about cheesecakes. Are you putting cheese on your cakes?
I could have them like separate but together.
They don't complement
free country for
one
now.
Another. Different flavor palettes.
Oh, it's fats and more fats and some carbs and wait.
I guess
I can't
mascarpone, maybe.
I can't pregame cake with cheese.
You can do whatever you want with your cakes and your cheeses. I enjoy cakes and cheeses.
Chocolate and cheese go together. Why can't a chocolate cake go with cheese?
Do they?
Totally.
Oh, dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was picturing like, no. I was picturing like taking a fucking mozzarella stick and dipping it in milk chocolate. And that doesn't sound so good.
Hear me out.
I don't know. I don't think it would be very good.
Hear me out.
I'm willing to try it once. I'll try almost anything once. I tried beans on toast.
Yeah.
I tried
We did do that.
some other stuff.
Shout out.
Shout out to
We did
Sule.
try it. We gave it the college try.
We did. And it wasn't bad. You didn't like it, but you had gluten-free toast. That toast sucked.
Well, okay, it was bad gluten-free toast.
It was.
So I feel like I did not get the full experience.
No, you got to rerun that shit. I still have the beans from last year. I bet they're still good
Beans.
because they were in a can.
Beans.
All right.
Beans.
Any other thoughts on why destroying ontological evil might be a bad idea? Is that the right word, ontological?
I don't know.
Okay. Any other thoughts on why that might or might not be a bad idea? Or is Rand on the right track here wanting to kill Satan?
I think that I don't think he can kill him because balance, but I think we could put that thing back where it came from or so help me.
That could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Rand is in like,
you know
fuck
what?
this
Here's
shit.
the thing. Fuck it. Kill Satan because he doesn't seem to be that concerned about preserving the natural order and balance of things.
Rand then goes, fuck
So
this
fuck it.
shit.
We'll kill him.
I'm lucid dreaming, and I'm going to imagine the StarCraft pause menu, and then hit quit game, quit to desktop, and wake my ass up. And that is not exactly what he does, but that is functionally what he does. And we're going to take an ad break. Welcome back.
Yes.
Take it away.
What am I taking away?
I don't know.
You're the one with the book.
I just wanted to see what would happen if I said that.
I refuse to play your little mind games. Sir?
I burped into the microphone.
Oh no, someone's going to get triggered by that.
Do you want me to cut it?
I don't care.
I can censor it.
I don't care.
I'll censor it.
Okay.
Wasn't that loud?
I don't know. People get
barbecue.
upset about the strange.
It was a really good sausage.
I'm not done eating, I think.
Well, good. Food's good. I like it.
Anyway.
I'm still standing up. I've been standing up for 10 fucking minutes.
Guys, again, I'm not going to make it till past 11.
Okay,
So
we switch to
go.
Min. Rand finally stopped thrashing in his sleep, and Min held her breath, hoping that he wouldn't start again. This was you the other night. Probably. I wouldn't know. I was asleep. But again, we were at a wedding this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we do have to pause and tell the story.
And we flew out of town. And we landed, and it was very late. We were 2 time zones over.
Yes.
And
so we were sleepy.
Allie was like, I'm tired. Grab my meds for me.
I have been having trouble sleeping for some reason.
God knows why.
And so I went to my psychiatrist prior to the election, and I said, last election, I didn't sleep at all for a week. So I need some kind of sedation, please. And she said, have you ever heard of trazodone? And I said, yeah, it's what we give the dog when it's the 4th of July. And she goes, well, same principle. This is just your 4th of July. And I was like, Denise, you son of a gun. So she prescribed me trazodone. So I've still been taking it to sleep for some reason. And I reached for my bevy of pills, as I do. I have a bevy of pills.
And now I will confess, this was in no small part my fault because I pulled the wrong pill bottle out of your bag.
You did. And that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, as Miley Cyrus says. So, I have also recently switched from Vyvanse to Adderall because of the national shortage. And so I'm not used to what those pills look and feel like in the same way. And so I reached for what I thought was trazodone and took it. And it very much turned out to be Adderall. So I did not sleep for the entire evening.
Yeah, that was a 2 a.m. Adderall.
I watched the sunrise from a dead darkness.
It was funny because we were like winding down, trying to fall asleep, and Allie was winding up, and the conversation was flowing, and I was like, this is great, but also it's very late.
And I was like, go the fuck to sleep.
And then she woke me up at 3:30 and said, I took the wrong medication. And I come out of a dead sleep and here I took the wrong pills and go, what are you need? Are you going to die? Because I wasn't thinking at all.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to die.
And she was like, no, I'll be fine.
I'm just going to be annoyed.
And I was like, oh, well, what do you need me to do?
I was like,
And she was
nothing. I
like,
just wanted you to
"Nothing. I
know
just
that I'm
figured I'd
suffering.
wake you up to tell you. And I went, oh.
Since it is half your fault.
It was in no small part my fault.
Because you didn't read.
Well, I was tired too.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We all survived.
They are different colors. I should have seen
I
that.
said that I'm not accustomed to the look and feel.
Sure.
Yet.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. Oh,
Yet
God, I
of
can't
those
do
pills.
that. I made everybody yawn again.
Because I got those pills at the same, like the new
You did,
Adderall pills
yeah.
and the trazodone at the same time. And
Mm.
so to me, I haven't learned that there's a difference between them
So we're back with Min.
until very recently.
She's reading a book. She's reading several books.
Oh yeah, we brought up my boy, what's his face?
Herod.
Herod.
I'm sitting down again.
Like the department store.
She's reading Falling Shale, Marks and Remarks, and Monuments Past, and also Palladius's Ponderings.
Oh, here's another one of those da-na-na-na moments. She agrees with me that they have to break the seals.
She does.
And I'm like, based.
Uh,
No cap, as the youths say.
So she thinks about how cool it is to be bonded to Rand, and then she picks up Thoughts Among the Ruins, and she looks at Herod Fell's note. Do you remember Herod Fell's note?
Yeah, don't bring the girl too pretty.
Yeah, belief and order give strength. Have to clear rubble before you can build. Will explain when see you next. Do not bring girl too pretty.
And I read that and was like, he's dead.
You did.
I remember that. Because it was like, we'll explain when I see you next. I was like, buddy, you're going to have to explain right the fuck now.
And Rand wakes up.
Oh, I just cracked my neck so good.
And he gets out of bed. And she's like, the fuck are you doing? He's like, I took an Adderall by mistake. He goes,
famous neurodivergent Rand al'Thor.
he's inside my head. He was gone during the dream, but he's back now. She's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking? Is it Scatman Joe? Like, what are we talking about? Luce Theron? He goes, yeah. And she's like, you're doing real bad in a mental health way, aren't you? And he's like, boner and hard. And she says, Rand, you have to talk to someone. You can't keep it all inside. I have to be strong.
Min continues to be based to this chapter.
Keeping me away means you're strong. I'm not. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you
There
are.
are things going on in there
when you
behind
don't
those.
talk to your loved ones about your feelings, you are keeping them
You
at an
can't
arm's
do that.
distance.
You got to talk to people.
You gotta talk to
your
people.
loved ones about that shit.
Oh my God, talk to
It's
people.
very important.
It's so good.
I do frequently talk to my loved ones about that shit. Allie can vouch.
Can vouch.
It's a good thing to do. It's actually strong and healthy
Yeah.
to talk to your loved ones
No,
about shit.
only idiots don't talk to their loved ones
Yeah. Please
about
talk to your loved ones
their
about shit.
problems. Yeah, please do that.
There are things going on in there behind those eel eyes of yours. Rand,
That feels a little racially insensitive.
do you think I will stop loving you because of what you hear? You'll be frightened. Oh, so I'm a fragile flower, am I? And
Go
he's like,
for him.
Look, I'm not saying
Get him.
you're a wimp, because like you're not. You're
Get
a
him.
badass.
Get him.
Then trust me to be strong enough to hear what is inside you.
Yes.
We can't just pretend nothing has happened. The
Agreed.
taint left marks on you.
Yes.
I know it did, but if you can't share it with me, who can you share it with?
Exactly.
Burn it all, Min. If my enemies discover my weaknesses, they will exploit them. I feel blind. I'm running in the dark on an unfamiliar path. Naked in the dark! Frodo! Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that.
I like it.
I can't remember the taste of strawberries. Yeah. I like when he gets stabbed at Weathertop, and then later Aragorn is rubbing leaves, the shit in his wound. He makes these particular weird grunt noises. It's like, it's very funny to me, and me alone, because I've seen that movie 5,000 fucking times. We're talking about Lord of the Rings again.
I've also seen that movie 5,000 times.
I haven't read. I still haven't read it. That's my secret nerd shame. I've read Fellowship and half of Two Towers. I'm going to read it.
I've read the Silmarillion.
I have also read the Silmarillion.
I know, it's weird that we haven't read any of the ones except for the Silmarillion.
I've read The Hobbit.
Have I read The Hobbit? I feel like
I'm
I've read
sure
The
you've
Hobbit.
read The Hobbit.
I feel like I read The Hobbit in college.
All right, so
Good. We're killing it. I'm going to work out after this.
No, what an idea.
I like working out at night. And all these people who find that out are like, oh my God, you're working at night. Yeah, I do.
You'll think I'm mad.
What on it?
I already think you're a wool-headed fool. Can it be much worse than that? Semirog was right, Rand said. I hear things, a voice, the voice of Luz Theron, the dragon.
God, finally he's telling someone about this.
He speaks to me and responds to the world around me. Sometimes he tries to seize Sidene from me, and sometimes he succeeds. He's wild, Min. Insane. But the things he can do with the one power are amazing. And Min is like, oh, that doesn't make me feel super good. That's
you asked.
That's rough.
You asked him to share.
Semirog claims that this is just insanity, tricks of my mind, but Luz Theron knows things that I don't. Things about history, about the one power. You had a viewing of me that showed two people merging into one. That means Luz Theron and I are distinct. Two people, Min. He's real. And at this point, you went, that's not it.
That's not
We
it.
just saw the other guy.
We just, like, literally just saw the other guy. I mean, Rand,
that's what you said.
We love you, but, like, keep up.
She goes, Rand, he's you.
There's like 45,000 people in his head.
Or
like,
you're him.
It could be any of them.
Spun out into the pattern again. Those memories and things you can do, they're remnants from who you were before. No, Rand said. Min, he's insane and I'm not. I'm like, debatable. Besides, he failed. I won't do it, man. I won't hurt those I love as he did. And when I defeat the Dark One, I won't leave. I won't leave him able to return a short time later and terrorize us again. And she's like,
accountability.
Bro, it's been 3,000 fucking years. What do you mean a short time? What are we talking about?
I mean,
what are we doing here?
He wasn't aware of all that time passing, so it wouldn't feel that long to him. 3,000 years is a long fucking time. Ow.
And then they hug, and he feels better, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, Shamael's alive."
What?
She's like, "Skirt, back up,
rewind."
How are we gonna?
It's like, because he's also in my head.
And
Min's like, oh God,
shit!
How many fucking people are in your head? And I'm like, Min, I've been saying that for
you're in
books
there
now.
You're in there,
and now Min's parenting too. You're telling me that there are many people in your head. Brain
How
worms.
do they fit in? No, stop. No. He's like, how do they fit in there? It must be very uncomfortable. And Rand goes, don't worry, I'm kitted out with a number of secret lab chairs.
Oh my God.
That was a throwback.
1 episode ago.
Well, usually, you know what? Usually we come up with these dumbass jokes and then we never bring them up again.
Yes.
More often than not.
Yes.
So it feels like a throwback.
That's true.
If it's 1 episode ago.
You're right. Technically, it's a throwback.
It technically is a throw.
What jokes have withstood the test of time?
Yeast.
Yeah. We haven't said that in a while.
Hasn't been opportunity. Nobody's thrown
anything.
It's too sad and melancholy.
You know what? Here's what I'll say. Brandon, not enough throwing stuff.
You gotta
yeast way more stuff.
Huck some shit.
Huck it.
Fucking toss that
Clear
shit.
across the sky. Yeah.
Right, so she's like, how do we deal with that? And Rand's like, we've got to use balefire. And she's like, okay, again, with the bad ideas. That Cadsuane said, and Rand is like, Cadsuane, I don't give a fuck. You good?
It's just such a bad insult that Rand would totally do. It was so in character. Okay, very well. Keep going. It's the way.
Rand is like, I'm going to kill the elemental. By the way, I don't mean to make fun of him for this. I'm not. I just think
killing evil?
It's fascinating that he has suddenly gone all the way in on, I'm going to destroy and murder the elemental forces of evil.
I mean, that would be really nice.
Might be.
And a 20-something would totally think that was possible.
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe like, I'll be the first in thousands of years.
Well, probably ever. I mean, you would think that the Dark One exists outside the pattern, right?
I think they're just going to put him in the hole again.
Back in the hole.
Get in that hole.
But he's like, anyway, I need the Luz Theroning in my head to tell me how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, speaking of terrible ideas, maybe not, you need to destroy the seals.
Yeah, you
I'm pretty
do.
sure that's the shit. And he goes, yeah, I figured. And she's like, well, fuck. Okay, I guess that was
Well, what was all my reading for?
glad I've been doing that for 5 fucking books.
Glad we took the accomplishment away from the woman.
Yes, that sounds right. I doubt that many will wish to hear it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
admittedly, he does do it because he does concur on this because she tells him, I think we got to do this.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. If you've emailed us or sent us some kind of message, you owe me $1,000.
He's like, but like, what else do I do? You figure anything else out?
I'll take cash or Venmo.
In your fancy book reading, did you figure any other shit out with all that time you spent reading books and sucking dick? Mine specifically, because I guess that's all she's been doing is fucking him and reading books. Which, listen, I'll be honest, that sounds great. Why are we bagging on men? That sounds awesome.
Wait a minute.
Read books, get
We've
laid.
been hating on this woman.
What the fuck are we talking about? All she's doing is reading books and getting laid.
Min's a genius.
This is the best.
She's got the best job in the books. She has finagled her way as a seer of evil.
She finessed the fuck out of the pattern.
She finessed the fuck out of the pattern. Because, like, really, her life could have really sucked, right? Because she's, like, somebody who could see the future. They could have walked around with her and pointed her at a bunch of shit and been like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, but no, read books, get laid.
Instead, she's getting railed.
Reading and railing.
Reading and railing. The reading rainbow.
No. The reading railbow. I thought that's what you said.
It wasn't, but I loved it.
Now, it's a reading rainbow only if some of the other girls are involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because right now it's just
then it's gay.
straight. Yeah.
Okay. So, here's the thing. Min's a genius.
Min's on top of the
You know
world.
what? Hear me out. Min has finagled her way into the best position in the apocalypse. She's right next to Rand at all times, just in case shit gets fucky.
Yeah.
Like, where's Elaine? Having a terrible time. Where's
She's
Egwene?
like second
having a
trimester
terrible
pregnant.
time.
She's chilling
Where's
out, having a
Aviendha?
bad time.
Having a terrible time.
Carrying rocks around.
Yeah. Where's Nynaeve? Having a terrible time.
Not since she got married.
No, now her husband's off fighting in a war he's going to die in.
Yeah.
Terrible time. Min, reading books, getting railed. Good for her.
Not bad. You know
what? Fuck it.
You know what?
Good for her. Team Lamp.
Oh my god.
You know what? Should we all be so lucky in the
Close
apocalypse?
enough. Welcome back, Lord Byron. Oh god. Oh god.
I mean, technically, that could totally canonically be true.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. I like you.
I'm a big fan of this. This is
Oh my god, that was so stupid. Close enough. Welcome back, Lord.
so.
Will that be the title of the episode?
Yeah, it's either that or Balebuddies.
I think it's got to be Balebuddies because I want the joke of Welcome Back, Lord Byron to be a surprise. Yeah. So I think it does need to be Balebuddies. Plus, I feel like Balebuddies gets across what we're talking about today.
Yeah, close enough. Welcome back, Lord Byron.
Everybody
doesn't necessarily
fuck?
What are these fucking assholes doing now? I like to imagine our listeners, something pops up and the first thing they do is they look at the length and they go under an hour, amateurish, and then they read the episode title and they go, what the fuck? Get the fuck.
Oh, what
is
the
this?
fuck?
I just imagine our listeners full of disdain. They're not, is the funny part.
I hope so.
But you know.
I am.
Well, I am too. But
disdain for us.
It's good. So
all right, keep
Rand
reading. It's past 11.
goes, the seals are brittle enough that I could break them in my hands, but what then? How do I stop him? Does it say anything of that in your books? And she goes, well, maybe I would have read more, but like every 5 minutes,
You want to bet?
I'm not getting anything done.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Team Lamp. Welcome back, Lord Byron.
Back, Lord Byron. And we switch to Aviendha. How's she doing?
Well, not as much fun as Min. She's like, why can't I be sucking and fucking during the apocalypse?
Yeah, she only got the one.
Carrie, I know she's been really fucked over.
No,
not
she
in the
hasn't.
way I know.
Yeah,
not in the way she's wanted.
she got the one.
She's like, she's got what? This is bullshit. She's right there with him too.
Min got the one. Elaine
I'd
got
be
the
like,
one. I'm sorry.
Scoot over. That's what I'd be like.
Got the one. Elaine got the one.
I'd be like, I'm kicking that short-haired biatch out of bed. I'm going in there. Swan dive, right? If I'm going to carry rocks around, then I might as well get laid. That's what I would be. But so she's there having to feel all this going down.
Yes.
Knowing that Min is reading books and having a nice time.
So what
while
is...
she's out there moving rocks around and then moving the back.
Well, that's not what she's doing this time. She is...
And then Amis wakes her up in the middle of the night by being like, hey, I took the wrong pills.
We'll tell you what.
She's like, what?
I got to throw one more real quick ad break in here. Hold on. We'll be right back. All right.
Then
yeah, she's lighting a lantern, blowing it out. Then
lighting it again?
She's walking a candle across the green, lighting a lantern, blowing the lantern out, going back across the green, relighting the candle, and repeating the whole thing.
All right, wise ones.
And she's like,
now we're running out of ideas.
She's like, I'm freaking out, bro.
I feel like they're running out of ideas at this point with her.
Don't get it twisted.
I don't know. What else can we have her do? Just touch her toes over and over again.
And then Amis walks up behind her and is like, boo. And she's like, ah. And Amis goes, you approach your punishments with such dedication, child. And
you're so dedicated to being punished. Why can't you just sack up and become a wise one?
Aviendha's like, God damn it, I can't figure this shit out. Please, wise one, I only do as duty demands. And Amis goes, yes, you do.
It's very frustrating.
And also, you do not. Sometimes...
I'm right. I'm right about that. All right. I'm right.
Wait, can I finish the line?
I'm right.
Sometimes, Aviendha, we are so concerned with the things we have done that we do not stop to consider the things we have not. What does that mean?
I'm right, is what it means. 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000%.
And Aviendha's like, well, I don't know what the
Ali
fuck you're
is
talking
right.
about. And in Aviendha's head, all she hears is, you put me near the soundboard again.
Mm-hmm.
They're sleeping. They're trying to sleep. And you've put me near the soundboard.
No, our podcast has been called a sensory nightmare, and I'm committed to that. Wake up.
I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know what to do about this. What the fuck am I supposed to say? This is bullshit. What, talking about what I haven't done? Gotten some dick, apparently.
I'd be bitter too. I'd be so bitter. I'd be like, I'm blowing this stupid fucking candle out.
I'd rather be blowing something else.
I might have only so many fucking months to live, and I'm out here blowing out candles while Min's sucking and fucking her way through the apocalypse.
Boy. And then there's a gateway, and some Saldeans show up, and some Ashaman, and Karana, a maiden, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" And Karana goes,
"Oh yeah,
the invaders, the Shanchan, they have agreed to another meeting with the Karakarn."
And Corona is pissed.
The Karakarn sues too hard for peace. The Shanchan have given him reason to declare a blood feud, but he simpers and panders back to them. I feel like a trained dog sent to lick the feet of a stranger. And
then Aviendha and Amis are like, hey, if you had a feud with a sister, with a spear maiden of the spear, and your clan needed y'all to fight, wouldn't you work together? And I'm like, no, fuck her. Which is why I'm not in these books.
By the way, to your theory about them seeing if Aviendha is accepting her place as a wise one, did you notice that Amis just goes, what do you think?
Yes, I did notice that. Ali is right.
What does Aviendha say?
It's a banger chapter for me in terms of being right about shit.
Aviendha goes, the Shanshan deserve to be fought, and you are right that it pains to ask them for peace, but you forget that we have a greater enemy. Sightblinder himself has a feud with all men, and our duty is larger than feuds between nations. And Amis is like, we'll get him, we'll catch him on the next one. We'll fuck him up after we're done.
Yeah. Except I would like them to fuck him up earlier.
And Karana goes, Wise one, you sound like a wetlander. What care have we for their prophecies and stories? Randalthor's duty as Gargarn is much greater than his duty to the wetlanders. He must lead us to glory. And Amis is like, the fuck is this Shido shit? Dribble on out of your mouth.
No.
Gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this room. What are we doing here?
No.
And she's like, look, I'm heated. Why is she heated?
Because they had chained up wise ones.
Chained up.
Not just
Shido and other wise ones.
That's some shit.
They've been enslaved.
Which is some shit. And we should do something about that.
And Amis is like, Aviendha, do you want to murder people now? And Aviendha's like, well, yeah, but also we got to work with it. We got to make peace with the Shanshan.
I'd rather go hang out with men and fuck my way through the apocalypse. You know what? We all, as a community, owe her an apology. She's the smartest woman in these books.
And they're like, look, here's the thing. Don't get it twisted. We are going to fuck them up after the apocalypse.
After the break.
After the apocalypse.
Like Ryan Seacrest in American Idol. We're going to find out who the winners are after the break. We're going to end slavery after the break. What I like best is that we keep setting up that there's going to be an ad and there's
not. Yeah.
Yeah. And there won't be.
No.
We got to keep you on your toes.
Damer Flynn and the others had already...
Thank God for Damer Flynn.
Damer Flynn and the others had already reached the manor house. Would they wake Rand? He was sleeping now, though Aviendha had been forced to mute her bond in the middle of the night's punishment, lest she endure sensations that she'd rather have avoided.
Well, we should have thought of that earlier.
At least she'd rather have avoided them secondhand.
She's so bitter about not getting dick down right now.
What was that fucking movie?
I would be too. What?
That movie in the bar. There's this bar we go to after this class that we have, and it's very late at night.
All I know is that I was talking to the teacher of our class, and all of a sudden there's just like boobs over the top of his head, and I was like, I am so sorry. I'm so distracted by the fact that there are boobs in your head.
At least
he turned around and was like, huh. And it was like a softcore porn movie.
At least one of the channels is always tuned to like sci-fi channel, and it's late. I think it was called Sorceress.
I don't know.
Because it was
a crazy looking movie.
As you were, I was talking to people, and then they kept kind of looking behind me and getting
so
befuddled.
Many boobs.
And I turned around and I was like, "What the fuck is it? Why is it just like two naked women in the water and a weird goat man?" And then I was talking to the bartender. I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "Oh, it's Sorceress."
They're proving that they're women.
I have no idea what it's about, but it comes on frequently. I do know that those two are twins who are psychic for one another, and there's at least one scene where one of them's getting laid and the other one is just like having a sympathetic orgasm. And I was like, that sounds like the Wheel of Time.
It does sound like the Wheel of Time. Oh, no.
That's weird. I was watching,
Must have been a thing back then.
But the movie was on, and I kind of every once in a while I'd glance back and be like, "Yeah, that's weird." I don't. It was very strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, Amis is like, the Aiel aren't going to be very happy about this whole piece with the Shanshan thing, and Aviendha's like, "Well, are they going to break?" And she's like, "No, it's the Aiel. We're going to be fine."
Yeah, we already broke once. We're not breaking twice.
We haven't much time, child.
You either got to break that time or you're not breaking at all.
Perhaps it is time to stop.
You missed your chance.
Well, technically there have been people breaking away.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Perhaps it is time to stop coddling you. I will think up better punishments for you starting tomorrow.
Why don't you try communication?
We don't do that here.
No.
She'd learned long ago not to underestimate Amis. With a sigh, Aviendha broke into a trot, heading back.
They're running out of ideas of things to make her do.
And that's the end of chapter 15. Thanks for listening, everyone. We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. And you can always leave us a rating and or a review if you want to support us that way, which is always cool and a fun thing. Other than that, anything else? Oh, well, yeah, we want to do, no, it's that chapter. Okay,
What?
Look, I want to live react the next 2 chapters. We do kind of have no possible time to do that this weekend. Literally none. We might
Thursday. Can I do Thursday?
No, because I'm busy all day Thursday. I guess we could do it Thursday evening, but then Europe can't be there, which is always a bummer.
Yeah.
But what we might have to do,
kind of have no time.
we
otherwise.
might have to do it Thursday.
And
So
we'll make it up to you, Europe. We'll make it up to you another time.
So I guess let's say
Just
Thursday.
double check that we don't have anything going on.
We don't.
Okay, great. We'll do it Thursday.
Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We're gonna do. I think we should honestly do chapters 16 and 17, or at least the first part of 17. I may change my mind about that, depending. As live reacts. So if you are a Pints level or higher patron, come hang out.
Whee!
Okay. Other than that, anything else, Sally?
Balefire buddies.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.